This is the Akko Jelly Pink, another budget linear switches on their jelly line with a dustproof stem and enhanced stability. And you can get this for $12 for a pack of 45 pieces. So, how do they sound and feel? Let's find out. What is going on, guys? Ox here and welcome back to my channel. We are back with we are back with another Akko Jelly Switches, but this time this will be the last one and we'll be taking a look and listen at the Jelly Pink. This is another linear switch, and before we start the video, please don't forget to hit the like. Consider subscribing to my channel for more switch reviews. So a quick disclaimer, the switches were sent for a review, but I wasn't paid to make the video, so of course I give you guys my unbiased and honest opinion about the Jelly Pink. So in today's video, it's going to be the usual, a stock versus lube sound test and a sound test comparison with the other jelly switches. Of course, I'll be breaking down the materials that was used on the switch, and if you want to hear my thoughts and opinion about the Akko Jelly Pink, please to stick around at the end of the sound test. We'll of course be using my Vega 65 with a polycarbonate plate, a PCB to plate foam, and one case foam. Keycaps would be the Geek Arc PBT. Switches was lubed with a Cryodox 205 grade 0 and 105 grade 0 on the springs. So with that out of the way, please do enjoy the sound test. So that was the sound test for the Akko Jelly Pink switches. Let me know what you think about them on the comment section down below. Would love to have a discussion with you guys. Before we talk about my thoughts and opinion about the Jelly Pinks, you already know the drill. Let's go ahead and break down the materials that was used on the switch. As you've guessed it, these are still a 3-pin switch and is using a box type stem. So we have polycarbonate for the top and bottom housing. Of course, we have POM for the stem. And lastly, the springs, which are still a long boy springs coming in with 22 mm with a 45 gram actuation force and 57 gram bottom out force. And here are some spring comparison with the previous CS switches and previous jelly switches. So that was the materials that was used on the Jelly Pink. If you made it up to this point, I would like to say thank you for staying. And now let's talk about my thoughts and opinion on the Akko Jelly Pink switches. But first, let me give you guys a quick disclaimer. The sound and experience may vary depending on your keyboard build, your keycaps, your mic, and even your desk mat. So again, I'm using my Vega 65 with a polycarbonate plate, a PCB to plate foam, and one encased foam. GeekArc PBT was used on the keycaps, and switches was lubed with a Krytox 205 grade 0 and 105 grade 0 on the spring. So let's finally talk about my thoughts on the feel. On stock, same as the other jelly switches, they feel smooth out of the box, but it has that plasticky feel to it and just feels raw when typing. I still do suggest to lube them like the other jelly switches, as it can have more smoother typing experience. I can say that the feeling is close to the jelly white due to the light actuation force, and of course it still gives that snappier return due to the longer springs. In my preference, I still find them light for my liking, but it's still a fairly decent linear to type on. Now let's move on to my thoughts on the sound. On stock, same as the other jelly switches, there are some noticeable spring pings, and I can say that it sounds pretty close to the jelly white. Of course, I still do suggest to lube your switches, as I find the stock sound all over the place. So just like the other jelly switches, this is more leaning towards the high-pitch, clacky sound profile. And of course, after lubing them, it made it sound more subtle. Overall, you can expect a fairly decent sounding linear, but it's really nothing worth noting about. So last would be my overall thoughts about the Jelly Pink. I find it okay, but again, it's too light for my preference and I don't see myself using them on a daily basis. So as usual, it will still boil down to your preference. If you like light switches, you can choose between the Jelly White or this one, the Jelly Pink. But if you prefer more on the mid to heavy actuation, you may choose between the Jelly Black or the Jelly Starfish. And I know I'm going to get this question, so out of all jelly switches, the Jelly Blacks would be the one that I recommend to pick up. One thing's for sure is that I can say that the Jelly line of switches is really an upgrade from the previous CS switches, and I hope Akko can continue to provide a reasonable budget switches. I would suggest that they can try out some different materials for the top and bottom housing. Maybe they can try a nylon in the future, 5-pin, and of course, please do offer them in packs of 10 in the future. So that's it for the video, guys. I hope you liked and enjoyed my review on the Akko Jelly Pink. Let me know what you think about them on the comment section down below, and please don't forget to hit the like button. It really helps out my channel, and let's aim for 50 likes, and I know we can hit it. And of course, consider subscribing as we're aiming for 1,500 subscribers. We are finally done with the Akko Jelly switches, and I know I didn't cover one, that is the Jelly Blue, mainly because it was just a recolor of the Jelly Sponge. And I would also like to say thank you for the support. December was a bit rough for me in terms of uploads, and I know I'm really late to cover the jelly switches, but thanks to your support, all of the reviews are still doing well. And also, thank you Akko for sending this over. All of their links would be on the description down below. So, what's next for me? Well, we do have some JWK switches and some Gather-on switches to cover. I will try to finish them right away as I'm really grinding hard to win back the algorithm and of course to win back you guys. So again, please do hit the like button, share if you want, and of course, subscribe for more. And I'll see you guys on the next Soundtest. Peace.